I couldn't have planned this any better. I didn't read the Daily Word before I came this morning. And it's saying exactly what I want to portray today. What's your passion? You have one. Have you discovered your passion? I used to think, I won't say old, but I'll say I'm aging to a point where I need to be still a little. And then something jumps up and down inside of me and says, what? You've got to be kidding. You're just beginning. We're never too old to have a passion. We're never too old to begin again. We're never too old to start something new. And guess what? This is the day that the Lord has made. So we have a glorious, bright, new day every day to begin again. Well, good morning, blessed ones. First, I want to thank those of you who got up this morning and came in here to the chapel and gathered here. Well, I was going to say on this chilly morning. When I wrote it, it was chilly. But today it's really pleasant out there this morning. I also want to take time to thank those of you, yes, you who are out there watching this later on today. I want to thank you also for listening online. Together our consciousness lifts this church and we become that beacon that we profess to be. Did you know that? So it takes a village. It takes all of us, those here in the chapel and those that are listening online. So this morning I want to share with you some thoughts that came to me from reading Wayne Dwyer's book, Inspiration. Anybody hear that book or ever pick that book up? Wayne Dwyer, he's such a deep, excellent teacher, and I love reading his books. Well, I don't read whole books. I jump around. Books call to me, and when they call to me, I go to my shelf and I'll pull it off and I'll look through the index and I'll say, this is why this book is calling to me. This would make a good lesson. Not only do I want to share this with others, I need it, So if you have a bookcase, kind of when it calls and draws you, go to it. See what it's about. So anyway, I've been focusing lately on what it takes to live up to my full potential. How about you? Would you like to live up to your full potential? Would you like to even know what that is? To know what you're created to be? Our Wayshore said, the work I do, you can do also. Wow, when we think of what Jesus Christ did, man, that's saying a lot, isn't it? But you know what? What we have seen the Christ do, that same Christ is in us. That same aspect is in us. And guess what? I believe that we can witness doing more when we all lift our consciousness and decide to follow that frequency of the Christ. But what holds us back? What holds us back? You ever wonder that? Sometimes I just sit and wonder about things. And I wonder, what holds us back? What is it? It seems that we live in an age where there's a sense of urgency about all things. Do you feel that? It seems like everywhere you go, there's a sense of urgency about it. The store clerk, they're worried about trying to whoop you on through. When you go through these drive-ins, they're trying, well, sometimes they're trying to move you through. No offense to anyone who works at one. You're beautiful, and I know you're working with what you got. But, you know, things, we just want things so fast. We even call it that, fast food, drive-through. You know, we live in a society that seeks to make us fit into a certain mold, to conform and be on that same human level of thought as everybody else. We haven't yet realized that we are in this world, but we are not of this world. We have a powerful Creator that put thought into the idea of us. Yes. And you know, my talk today, there's nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. But what holds us back? You know, if we sit down and think about it, I like this one Wayne Dwyer wrote, because it makes the wheels begin to churn in my consciousness. He wrote in the book Inspiration, whatever is needed at this time in history to right this world, to right our own personal precious lives, we have these things within us. And he goes on to say, contrary to popular belief, science and technology will not save us. Government and religion will not save us. More information, faster, computers will not save us. It's our thoughts, our actions, our moral will that will save us. Now, by moral will, he's talking about our standards of belief. What are your standards for yourself? How will you live? How will you move? What will you speak? He's talking about behavior or beliefs concerning what is and what is not acceptable for us to do. You know, we know that instinctively, don't we? We know what's right. What holds us back from always doing the right thing? We don't want to blend in and be like everyone else. Sometimes that gets in our heads. We lift out of our heart region, which is that area of compassion, that area of empathy. We move out of that up into our head. You know, the intelligence part of us is not wise, contrary to what the Word is saying. It's not always wise, because what? It likes sometimes to go along with how things have always been done, with status quo, with what everyone else is doing. We call it race consciousness. But you don't always want to follow race consciousness. That's that thing in you that tells you that if you go out in the rain, you're going to catch a cold. That if you put somebody in their place, you're going to be great. You don't want to conform to that. And I know I'm preaching to the choir right now this morning because you all know that. But there may be someone out there, you may not know what you are. And we here, we're on the path to learning so that we can reach our full potential. That we can be that idea in the mind of God whose time has come to be what we were created to be. To move through this plane called Earth, but not conform to it, but to rise above it in our consciousness. I don't know about you, but wow, I want that. Don't you want that? I want that. I want that in my life. You know, when we look at our lives, sometimes there are still some unclaimed desires, right? Some things that we wanted to do, some things that we need to claim and stand in our power because it's our expression of, it's God expressing through us. It's God wanting to fulfill a potential in us because we live and move and have our being in spirit, right? So I want to be that expression of that spirit. I want people to know me by my true name. The Christ that was in Jesus is the Christ in me. That's my name also, and I can claim that when I follow the way sure. You know, we've forgotten that we have dominion over our thoughts. You have power over your thoughts. Your thoughts are rich and full of potential, but you have to do the work. Don't fall short. Johnny Coleman, Reverend Johnny Coleman said, it works if you work it. If you take these principles and these truths and focus on them and get a deep feeling for them and build your belief system with them, you can't help but come into your own. You know, it is right inside of us. That blows my mind sometimes when I get that idea I can't do something. It's right inside of me to achieve. It's right inside of you to achieve. You know, I got this little thing on my shoulder sometimes. I'm like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. Why can't I embrace everyone I meet? I don't mean physically, you know, in this age, if I go to hug everybody I meet, well, you know, I might land up with a problem there. But I can embrace them in my mind. I can see through color, any preferences they have. I can see through all that and just look at the pure sweetness that is within. You know, we watch television, we see people doing some really challenging things. But you know, we shouldn't sit in judgment of them. We should see them in love, surrounded in love, surrounded in the forgiving power of Jesus Christ. That's how we elevate ourselves. When we move into that no judgment zone. Let's see, I better get back over here so I can make sure I give you what I wanted to give you today.
Sounds pretty good, isn't it?
But the way to wholeness, the way to fulfillment, the way to joy is contained in every cell and atom of your body. It's there waiting for you to turn within and listen how to proceed from the quiet place therein. You know, the last thing we do when something comes up, a challenge comes up, is turn to the quiet sometimes, isn't it? That should be the first place. Take a moment. Connect. Connect. Do you want to be fed daily with what you need to make it in this universe? That's the daily bread of the Lord's Prayer. We want that. In Moses' time, it worked. They were given manna from heaven. In other words, they were given substance, the wherewithal to survive. They were told, don't worry, follow the light. We have that light, that same light inside of us. The point I want to get across today is you not only have ideas, but you are an idea made manifest. You have all the tools that you need. All you need to do is make a decision right here today. You know, God had an idea of us from the very beginning. We're made in that image and likeness, which is not a physical form. It's a divine idea. We are an idea made in manifestation. The substance that stands under each and every one of us is life. Life is a divine idea. And that is the substance that sustains us. And you know what? There's nothing more powerful than an idea, and that's you, whose time has come. I see a lot of you. I see you. I see you as you go about helping one another, serving one another, uplifting one another. Your time has come. And it comes daily. I mean, it's not just a one-time thing. Whenever you do an act of kindness without any thought of reward or return, your time has come. You know, co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, he wrote, when the spiritually awakened and the spiritually taught faculties and thoughts assemble within the I am of your spiritual consciousness, they are sent throughout the entire being to the very uppermost parts of the body consciousness. That's our healing power. That's our go forth and produce power. That's our potential. Your homework this week, yes, I'm going to give you some homework. Because we want to just lift the consciousness so high in this building that folks can't help but be drawn to come in our doors to see what's happening in there. Look at that building levitate. Yeah, there's something going on in there. So, your homework this week, I want you to take some time to sit still, just a couple minutes every day, or if you can do it at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, do it. But take some time and focus and develop the belief within you that you are an idea whose time has come. You are an idea whose time has come. And when that still small voice begins to speak with you about some of that stuff you've been putting on the back burner, don't take it off of that back burner. Go forth and create that wonderful world that you see in your vision. We have a vision here, don't we? We want to be that beacon, that light shining out for all humanity. Centered in love, we want to embrace our oneness. Let's be all that and more. We can do it, right? Because we're an idea whose time has come. So let's begin right now. Let's begin with the homework right now. I want you to prepare for meditation. Let's do so by affirming the Lord's Prayer. And then I want you to relax into it a moment. Let's affirm together. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. And as we think on those words, we want our daily bread. And we forgive, so we are forgiven. So in the essence of all this, let's take a deep breath. And as you release it, give yourself permission to turn within, to move a little deeper. Tell all those thoughts swirling around in your mind that got you here today. Tell those thoughts, peace, be still. Right here, right now, we want to unfold. We want to bloom. We want to feel that presence and that power moving in and throughout and touching every fiber of our being. And as we begin at the top of our head, we feel that light filtering down, reaching and touching whatever part of your being that needs to be touched this morning. We feel it being touched with the light of Spirit. From the tops of our heads down and out through our feet of understanding, moving out and circulating, not becoming stagnant, but becoming the living Word that the Christ often talked about. You and I, we are an idea that has come into manifestation. But that idea must reach in and feel and touch the substance of our being, which is life. And as we move steadily inward and come to that point within where we step over the threshold, that light is so brilliant, it's filling us. And we are in that place where we commune with our indwelling Spirit. In that place where there is no beginning, no ending. In that place where there is only being. And we take the time right here in this moment to be that which we were created to be. And we breathe in and we breathe out and we settle for a moment of quiet. Yes, dear ones, there is nothing more powerful than an idea whose time has come. I am an idea whose time has come. Let that soak in. I am an idea whose time has come. And as you prepare to return to the presence of this room, as you begin to look about and see the essence of one another, affirm to yourself, I am an idea whose time has come. Say it softly to yourself. I am an idea whose time has come. Holy Spirit, we're so grateful that we're walking into the truth of our being, that we know that we are wonderfully made. We know that you know all of us. And we are grateful. So thank you, Holy Spirit. And we thank you in the name of the living, loving Christ, moving in and through us all. And for this we say amen. And amen. Affirm with me one more time together. I am an idea whose time has come. Turn to your neighbor and tell them, I am an idea whose time has come. And respond, yes, you are. Bless you. Well, we're so grateful today for all of us being here. And I want to be sure and take time to thank you for all the love you pour into Unity Church of Light. You are the heart of us, all of you, coming together, beating as one. So we thank you for your substance that you share. We thank you for your service. We thank you for just coming in here and adding your consciousness to this service. We are grateful because of it. Yes, we are. So let's affirm our prosperity prayer together. Divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Wow.
Thank you, God.
Okay, now if you weren't in the room, I'm a little elevated here, so forgive me that I did not say that properly. But you know it if you're sitting out there and you've been listening to us every week. So I am grateful. Thank you, everyone.